First half observations, the non-conference season's coming to that close here. What do you think?
Well, I think we're, from a record standpoint, when I looked at the schedule when we put it together, we're right where I thought we would be as far as a record. Obviously we won a road game early in the year. That it's always tough to do that, and we dropped a home game, which you never want to do. But I think we've made some strides. Obviously, we were in some games down the stretch where we were unable to finish. So I think those are healthy. I think those are good. That's going to get us ready for the league play. So now with Marlon being close to coming back, that adds another dimension. So I think it's just only going to benefit us and continue to add to the depth of our roster. But I've been pleased with our guys. They're showing strides. Some days it's a little slower than others, but it's consistent movement. And maybe the needle doesn't move as fast as you want it as a coach, but it is moving.
What do you see so far when you go to the summit? What do you see about the summit maybe that may have surprised you a little bit?
Well, obviously, South Dakota State's playing at an extremely high level right now, which they would. They got a player. When you have a player of that caliber, it just allows you to really put yourself in position to compete nationally. So you need those type of players to separate yourself. So, but I've seen a lot of competitive scores, which we've known from the league as a whole. And the Dakotas are good. North Dakota State's had some good wins. South Dakota's had some good wins, and then Denver's just now getting healthy. So that's the one team that was. When you're looking at the scores, you're wondering why, but you have to realize they've had some key guys out. So they're just getting healthy now and in time for league play. So very challenging league. But even the teams that were so-called supposed to be preseason at the bottom, Omaha's had some good basketball as well. So it just tells you it's not about those preseason rankings. It's about who those teams are they continue to get better and come together.
Your schedule doesn't get any easier next week.
No, it's obviously Marquette we played in the past. Just have a lot of respect for that staff and that program. It's in the Midwest. It gives our chance close to the holidays, our families to see their children play, but also as coaches, our families to get to watch us coach. And the Northern Iowa, just obviously the connection there. So it's, one, we wanted to challenge. Again, we wanted challenging games with hopeful of getting Marlon back before the league play opened up. And the only way you're able to do that is throw yourself in the fire for that, so then you're ready for conference play.
What are the things that you want to see out of your team over these next 3 non-conference games?
Well, just continue to defend the way I feel we're capable of defending and rebounding. I think we've seen strides there, but value the basketball. I think that's the biggest thing. Valuing continue to make strides there and making simple plays. And when we've shown if we defend and value the ball, we put ourselves in good position to be successful. So it's the same stuff. It's simple stuff, but sometimes having consistency with that, with as many new guys we have, it takes some time.
You talk about those new guys. How have you liked their growth over the last,
I've liked it because, one, they come every day to work. Some of them are going through some new roles and new, positions or new system for the first time. So there's learning there, and it's hard on them at times, but they embrace it. They've come every day to work. And I just see, because that's where it starts to me. It's the mindset, the willingness to work and understand that, one, we do have depth, and I haven't seen anybody really hang their head toward that. They just want to do what's right by the team. That's something we've been stressing since the end of last year. So, but I've loved their growth. And at the end of the day, we keep forgetting there's a lot of them are just freshmen and sophomore, 9 games into their college Division I career. And that's 11 of them. So that's the thing. That's what's promising. But, at the same time, that's what our roster is, and we got to continue to get better and improve in the things that it gives us a chance to be successful.
How key is that depth as you go forward in the season? Because obviously you're able to rotate guys in and out and not really miss a beat at all.
Yeah, it is. It's especially when you through injuries and illness, and quite frankly, guys not playing well. And that's the beauty of it. So it's still what we've tried to do, something new as a step, because the first time we've had this kind of depth, is really focus on ourselves and not so much prep heavy. We got to get these young guys to continue to develop, and the only way you do that is really focus on your system defensively and offensively. You can't worry so much about your opponent to where these kids aren't getting better in what you do. So I think we've really tried to keep it simple with these guys and focus more on ourselves and just try to be better at what we do than what our opponents do. So I think it showed some strides. We still have the thing I'm really encouraged by, our ceiling's still so very high. We still have a lot of room for growth, and that's just these young kids. And that's what will happen once these young kids take another big step. You'll see a big jump in our play.
When it comes to taking care of the ball, that you mentioned, is that something that gets fixed by just better passing or better focus?
Decision-making focus, yeah. I think we got guys that are skilled enough, and I think it's focus. Just making the simple play instead of I'm big. They hear me all the time. Hit singles. We don't need home runs. We need to hit singles and keep it simple, and make the right play, not the spectacular play. But we all want our highlights on TV and all that. So it's more about when you're young. It was different down in Rio Grande. Those guys are so long and athletic. That was a different situation to where that was new. And that's not, it sounds crazy, but in the Midwest, there's not a lot of teams that play that way. So it was a shock to their system, but it was good. It was healthy. But through some of the other ones, we've shown signs with 17 assists, 7 turnovers, and then the next game you'll have 14 to 16 turnovers. At this level, you can't turn it over at that, and because it puts so much pressure, one, on your defense to get back and give up easy scores, but then it starts to put a lot of pressure on your offense to be able to make up for those miscues.